A few words about the meditation from Massenet's opera called Thaïs. This is very different music than what we usually play in Kaimerata with all the chamber music and all the Beethoven and Brahms and whatnot. As in, it's very clear what the story is. The context is, of course, the story of the opera, and it comes in a very specific spot in the opera. Basically, the story is that a priest wants to convince Thaïs to change the life of her past, where she was a dancer of the night, to a religious future. And this meditation, this movement, which is a violin solo, comes at this point where she's considering having a religious life in the future rather than the life of her past. It's an important point because the music reflects what she's thinking. She was considering actually seducing the priest, and during this solo she changes heart and chooses religion. Before I do an explanation of the music, there's just an interesting anecdote that I would like to tell. Having played in the opera since the year 2000, basically what I call my day job in Barcelona, I've gotten used to the orchestra not necessarily being appreciated as much as I think it deserves. Sometimes we have huge parts to play. We're playing for 3-4 hours at a time. In Wagner operas, we have 80 pages, of which 60 are difficult. There's 2 weeks of intense preparation, then there's stage rehearsals, dress rehearsals, and then various performances. And what is our appreciation? Of course, the singers all bow after the performance. The star gets the final bow. Finally, usually she invites the conductor to come on stage. Conductor has his bow, and then he has the orchestra stand, and it's kind of a lukewarm applause, because really the opera audience is not there for the orchestra, it's there for the music. I've gotten used to it. Of course, there's some things that are applauded more than others, but really I've just accepted that. Of course, we're just accompaniment. Of course, we're very important support in the orchestra. However, with this solo, something very interesting happened. It comes, of course, in the beginning of the second act, and the singer, Thaïs, actually leaves stage, so the stage is empty. So there's no other action except the harp and the violin. And it's about a 5-minute long solo. Everyone knows it, it's very beautiful. And when I did it the first time in Barcelona, there was applause afterwards, which is normal, but the applause didn't stop. I was so impressed. Even the conductor was surprised that he had me stand on his podium, and then there was bravos, and I was really happy because it was really a shock after what I was used to. He was so appreciative of how I played and wanted the audience to continue appreciating it, so he invited me to come on stage at the end of the opera to have a bow. I'd never done this, it's rarely been done, and I thought, okay, it's a great idea, and on top of that, it's his invitation. So what happens? There's the normal protocol of all the singers, of course the least important singers start, and then the final bow is the star, is Thaïs, and of course there's all the kisses to the public and the very deep bow or curtsy or whatever. And then after the audience has calmed down a little bit, she invites the conductor comes, has the orchestra stand, and then an extra little unforeseen event, he invites the concertmaster, who was me, on stage. And so I came on stage, had a bow, had very warm applause, and then came the problem. Is because this wasn't organized, there's a very strict protocol of where everyone stands. And of course, the most important people are smack in the middle, and the less important are on the sides. Where was I to stand? So I turned around to get in this lineup of people bowing, going forward and going back, and there was no spot for me. So the conductor had me come to him, My spot ended up being smack in the middle between the star singer and him. And so I went forward and back and bowed with the group, and I was happy and so on. What I found out later is Miss Diva was not very happy about the fact that I was in the center and that she wasn't. So of course the next performance is what happened. He had me come on stage, but I was put over, way over on the right hand side. It was all organized. After the bow, I returned to my spot. Such is life. So the diva leaves the stage, the harp starts, and the violin. A very calm, serene atmosphere, and I think in a way considering the religious future. So very pious, very pure. But what's interesting about this music is that there's little hints of the past, little hints of the passion and the passionate person that she was. So we continue. Still very pure. And then a little bit of doubt of passion. Reconsider. A little bit of hint of passion. So that whole first part is more of the pure music with just the little, as I said, hints of passion. But the middle part then is much warmer. But then there's hints of the past. Reconsidering. The future in religion. Such beautiful music. I hope you enjoy the whole version.
you.